What the hell did I just watch? My mind is still struggling to climb out of the black hole it was violently shoved into for the last hour and a half. I sat back and thought I was about to see Lucio Fulci's The Black Cat, but no, it was not to be. Instead, I was treated, and by treated I mean given a cinematic enema, to the late 80s turdfest of the same name, and just as related to the Poe story, which is to say, it was completely not related to the Poe story. The film was released in 1989 as both The Black Cat and as Demon 6, de Profundis, to cash in on the popularity of the Demon series, which by then had devolved into an assortment of retitled existing films that vaguely fit the frame of the original two. By vaguely, I mean, of course, they were just whatever. It was directed by Luigi Cozzi, a one-time assistant director and co-screenwriter of some Argento flicks, from before he sucked. So you'd think, with that bit of pedigree, it'd have some saving graces. But as it turns out, when Cozzi is left to his own devices, he's a directorial equivalent of anal sex sans lube. Just to give you some context, he's responsible for some of the line of Italian stinkers, Contamination, Hercules 1 and 2, the crappy ones with Lou Ferrigno, and the infamous colorized version of the classic Godzilla film from the 50s with spliced in World War II footage. The guy, in short, is a hack. Now, if Lucio Fulci taught us anything, it was that a hack could, under the right circumstances, make memorable masterpieces. But it seems that old Luigi was not cut out of the same cloth. His intents are admirable, I will grant him that, as The Black Cat intends to be a companion piece or unofficial sequel to Dario Argento's masterpieces of psychedelic, supernatural, and dreamlike horror known as Suspiria and Inferno. At the time, Argento had yet to release his third part in the Three Mothers trilogy, and it seemed he never would. No worries, Luigi will save the day. Or not. In fact, all he does is remind you why Argento's stern grasp on the phantasmagorical, coupled with his understanding of atmosphere, cinematography, and score, made Suspiria and Inferno immediate instant classics. Something this movie most definitely is not. Cozzi, who was billed as Louis Coates stateside, seemed to think that washing the film in bold strokes of color would amount to the brilliance and lighting that Argento achieved in his work. Instead, it just comes and goes, often accompanying awful scenes that are supposed to evoke tension, but are merely laughable. I will grant you that the film looked at least an iota a bit more suited for the big screen when it was basically a green glowing blob than when it was not, and it looked like a cheap TV movie. The score, the score is beyond ridiculous, and whatever little atmosphere he hoped to conjure up with his ludicrous beats is instantly ruined by the synth soundtrack that serves both to date the film horribly and make you laugh as hip 80s tunes burst your eardrums as supposedly dramatic scenes unfold. Now let's assume, just for a second, that these glaring flaws didn't drag the film down. They do, but let's assume. Well then, would the film be good? No, because just the horrible dubbing alone makes you want to punch everyone in the world for possessing the capacity to hear it. This was a common practice with Italian productions at the time, even when the actors spoke English. But this little nugget was rife for the stiffest delivery imaginable. It's like if someone said, hey, why use actors when we can probably get free labor from hobos? I was especially a huge fan of the little kid who sounded like he was a full-blown Italian pervert. That was cool. And the dialogue? Oh my god, the dialogue. If the screenwriter, who was also Luigi Cozzi, by the way, wanted the audience to know something, well, he'd just write the character describing that very thing. Hey, I'm talking to a microphone, and there's a camera in front of me. Pitiful dialogue. The witch's villain is... the witch is the villain, by the way. The witch's overtures will make you cringe. Believe me, they're one step above, I am a villain, fear me. The one strength, if you can call it that at all, that the film has is its effects work. Now, don't misunderstand me. As far as 80s horror physical effects go, this is one of the lamest examples. But the design for the antagonist Lavana in her witch form is pretty cool. And there are some moments of gore and grue that make you go, well, at least I got that out of it. Compare them to other flicks, though, and this sole merit goes out the window, too. So what's this movie about? Well, therein lies its biggest issue. You might have a remote grasp on the plot at first, but then Cozzi just decides to throw in every confusing angle he can into the mix. By the end resolution, which is literally a battle between two superpowered, possessed humans who may or may not be cosmic beings, sounds awesome, but trust me, it's not, you will be left saying, what the fuck did I just see? See above. whilst you tear your eyeballs out of their sockets for good measure. Best I can figure, the story follows a couple of screenwriter-directors who have been inspired by Argento's work, so much so that they're directing a film within the film at the beginning that's supposed to be a sequel to Suspiria, but just looks kind of like a straight-up giallo flick. Their next project is one that is supposed to be their answer to the missing third part in the Three Mothers trilogy. The director wants his wife, Anne, to star in it. She's a bit disturbed by the character of Lavanna the Witch. Being the good method actress she is, though, because she's fantastic, she attempts to get into the role only to discover, through a series of visions and dreams, that the witch has been woken by the very act of this movie being made. Why? Well, I don't know. Think Wes Craven's New Nightmare, only like super shitty. Anyway, the witch seems all not too happy about the movie, and even less happy that Anne is going to portray her. Meanwhile, the director-writers secure funding from a stern producer who is nothing short of an asshole, and the film is greenlit. Cool. More action. Cue Anne being increasingly at odds with the idea, part of the course of events taking place, namely her being hounded by the witch and warned to stay away from the role as it does not please her. This led to my favorite part of the movie. The witch literally haunts her in the worst ways possible. And I mean worst as in lame, not as in awful. For example, she lures her downstairs with an eerie green glow and erupts out of a mirror to warn her, only to later appear again and apparently destroy her fridge. Yeah, the fridge. But wait, then the repairman shows up to fix the fridge, and later we find out that he was an illusion from the witch. So let me get this straight. I'll scare you by fucking up your fridge, then I'll pretend to fix it for you? Thanks? The director-writers go out to research the occult history of their character, because why do that before you pitch a whole fucking movie, right? Only to find out from an occult specialist that the witch Lavanna has long sought to find a way back to her from her eternal slumber and lay waste to the world as revenge for when they burned her at stake. Okay, sounds cool, except that she apparently has rejected Anne as the vessel, because when you're a hideous witch and really want revenge, you gotta be picky about the body you possess. Here's where it begins to unravel beyond repair. It's clear the witch is powerful enough to make all kinds of supernatural shit occur, guts spilling out of TVs, weird mists, ghosts and apparitions. She takes complete control of others and makes them do her bidding, and yet she refuses to take any body as her vessel because reasons. Oh, by the way, this is when I should mention that our heroine, Anne, has a fairy inside her that talks to her and guides her, sometimes. What the serious fuck? It's clear they didn't just write in the witch possessing Anne or anyone right away to throw in the extra tension of her baby being at stake, because according to the supernatural specialist, if the witch cannot find a proper vessel, which Anne fits the perfect description of, by the way, then she'll possess a man, and then he must kill a child to make the whole shebang stick. She never does that either, I should mention, though she does possess men to do her bidding, all except the most important bidding, of course. That ending. Oh man, that ending. Wow. They try to throw you this They try to throw you this curveball like, guess what? It was this all along, and all you can think is, who is that again? Oh yeah, the babysitter, Sarah. Who cares, and why didn't it just happen at the beginning? And why didn't we get any hints whatsoever to this being the case? No worries. Anne's brilliant dialogue lets us know that she figured it out on the car ride over, and that in fact Sarah was possessed all along. But instead of taking her revenge, was just really fucking pissed that Anne was going to portray her in a movie. So let's focus on that instead. Great. Cue cosmic psychic battle, and our heroine dies at the hands of the witch-possessed Sarah. Cool. That's different, I guess. Oh no, wait. She can turn back time, as evidenced by this brilliant piece of dialogue. Sorry, Sarah, but I control time now. Boom. Anne, apparently powered by her inner fairy, destroys the witch. Or does she? No, apparently not, because now her baby has glowing witch eyes. That's right, the witch had glowing witch eyes. Hashtag glowing witch eyes. Let's not forget that the baby was supposed to be a sacrifice if she ended up possessing a man. Fuck my life. What is this movie? I tell you what it is. It's complete garbage. 0 out of 10 unless you're watching drunk with a friend. Then maybe it might be enjoyable. By the way, this nugget is not available on DVD, and it sure as hell isn't available on Blu-ray. But you can see it all in shitty glory by punching in Demon 6, De Profundis, on YouTube. Link below if you were interested. Check it out for yourself and marvel at what complete ass looks like when it's on film. Still better than Transformers though. There's that. Anyway, this has been Ahab, signing out.